This is Bindusar Hosamani from Gulbarga, and I am here to deliver the knowledge to the doorsteps of your brain and the heart, provided they are open. Dear students, in this session, we shall be discussing about green plants and chordates. Already in the last class, you have learnt about green plants. Now, let us focus on chordates. In this universe, probably the Earth is the only planet where the life exists. There are millions and billions of organisms on the Earth, and in fact, they are all not the same. They vary in many aspects. So, we can say that there is diversity in living organisms. And to study about each and every organism, it may require millions and billions of years, and it is impractical. So, to study about each and every organism, we have to classify these organisms into particular groups, so that if we study about that particular group, then we get information about all the organisms categorized in that group. So, to make our study easy, to make the study of all the organisms easy, we should classify all the organisms on the earth into various categories. So, it was R.H. Whittaker who classified all the organisms into 5 major categories called kingdom. And those kingdoms are Monera, Protista, fungi, plant and animal. So, dear students, there are 5 kingdoms and they are Monera, Protista, fungi, plant and animal. Already you have learnt in brief about Monera, Protista, plant, fungi and animals in your previous class, that is in your 9th standard. Now, you have learnt more information about plant kingdom, and we shall learn some more information about the animal kingdom in this class. Coming to animal kingdom is classified into 9 phyla or phylum. Phyla is the plural word for phylum. So, animal kingdom is divided further into 9 phyla, and they are Porifera, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Nematoda, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata and Chordata. Dear students, just recall you had studied about all the first 8 phyla in your 9th standard. Now, in this session, we shall focus on the 9th phyla of animal kingdom, and a point of an interest here, all these 8 phyla of animal kingdom are also called non-chordate, and this 9th phyla is in fact called Chordata. So, why is that all the 8 first phyla of animal kingdom are called non-chordate? It is because of absence of a structure called notochord. We shall see what is this notochord and what is the function of it in the subsequent discussion. So, now let us focus on the 9th phyla of animal kingdom, that is Chordata. So, dear students, as I have already told you, the animal kingdom is divided into 9 phyla based on various features, and based on the presence of notochord or the absence of notochord, again we can classify the animal kingdom into 2 categories, non-chordates and chordates. So, under chordates, we should talk about the features of this phylum Chordata, and we should discuss about the subphyla of this phylum Chordata. So, under Chordata, we have to discuss about 3 features of this phylum Chordata and 4 subphyla of this phylum Chordata. First, let us see what are the features of this phylum Chordata. There are 3 unique features of phylum Chordata. First, presence of a solid supporting structure on the dorsal side of the body called notochord. Second, presence of a dorsal hollow tubular nerve cord. Third, presence of openings in the pharynx called gill slits, at least in the embryonic stages. We have seen that there are 3 unique features of this phylum Chordata, and they are the presence of notochord, the presence of nerve cord, and the presence of gill slits, at least in the embryonic stage. It may be present in the adult stage, or at least it should be present in the embryonic stage. So, these are the 3 important unique features of the organisms present in this phylum called phylum Chordata. So, dear students, whenever I say you phylum Chordata, you should recall 3 important features of phylum Chordata. They are presence of notochord, presence of nerve cord, and presence of gill slits, at least in the embryonic stage. It may be present in the adult life, but it is very much necessary that it should be at least present at least in the embryonic stage. So, this is about the 3 important unique features of organisms present in phylum Chordata. Now, let us discuss about 4 subphyla of this phylum Chordata. We have learned about 3 important features of phylum Chordata. Now, we shall discuss about 4 subphyla of phylum Chordata. So, dear students, there are 4 subphyla of phylum Chordata, and they are: first, Hemichordata; second, Urochordata; third, Cephalochordata; and fourth, Vertebrata. So, there are 4 subphyla of phylum Chordata, and they are Hemichordata, Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Now, let us see on what basis have this classification been done. So, now let us see on what basis this classification has been done. This classification is done on the basis of the location of notochord. Now, it might be pondering in your brain as to what is this notochord. So, dear students, noto means back. So, noto means back or behind, and cord means a tube-like structure. So, this notochord is a tube-like structure which is present in the back portion of the body of an organism, and this is for the support of the body. But it is not there in human beings. We have vertebral column, and this we shall discuss in the subsequent discussion. So, dear students, notochord is a tube-like structure which is present behind or in the back of the body, and it supports the structure of the body. This is about notochord. On the basis of the location of this structure, the notochord, we have divided the phylum Chordata into 4 subphylum, and they are Hemichordata, Urochordata, Cephalochordata, and Vertebrata. Now, let us see various features of these subphyla with examples. First, let us see what is this Hemichordata. What is the feature of this phylum subphylum Hemichordata. In this subphylum Hemichordata, the notochord is present in the anterior half of the body. Anterior means in front. Here, as the name itself suggests, hemi means half. So here the notochord is present in the first anterior half of the body, where anterior means front. So here the notochord is present in the front or anterior half of the body. Next, in this urochordata, the notochord is present only in the larval stage. It is not present in the adult stage. So dear students, in this urochordata, this notochord is present only in the larval stage, that too in the tail part, not throughout the body. In this urochordata, the notochord is present only in the tail region, and that too it is confined only till the larval stage. Later on, as there is differentiation of this larval form into an adult form, this notochord disappears. So this is about the second subphyla, Urochordata. So now let us discuss about the third subphyla, that is Cephalochordata. Here Cephalochordata, the notochord is present throughout the body. But in case of Urochordata, it was confined to the tail region, and in case of Hemichordata, it was confined to only the anterior half of the body. But here, in case of the Cephalochordata, the notochord is present throughout. Next, coming to the vertebrata, we come under vertebrata, and this the here the organisms present in this subphyla vertebrata, it does not have this notochord, but it will have this notochord in the embryonic stage. But as there is differentiation or development into an adult form, this notochord disappears, and we have a special structure called vertebral column. And because of this presence of vertebral column, this subphyla is also called vertebrata. Subphylum Hemichordata. Here the notochord is restricted to the anterior half of the body, and the example is Balanoglossus. Subphylum Urochordata. Here the notochord is present only in the tail region of the larva. It is absent in the adults. Example, Hosamani. Subphylum Cephalochordata. Here the notochord is present throughout the length of the body. Example, Amphioxus. Subphylum Vertebrata. Here the notochord is restricted only to the embryonic stage. In adults, it is replaced by a vertebral column, and the examples are all the vertebrates. Dear students, now we are discussing about the fourth subphyla of the phylum Chordata, that is vertebrata. This is called vertebrata because all the organisms present in this subphyla invariably contain a structure called vertebral column. What is this vertebral column? This vertebral column is a bony structure which is formed by the stacking of a bones called vertebra. So there are some small bones called vertebra which are stacked one above the other to form a long tubular structure called vertebral column. And what is the function of this? This serves the function of protection for the spinal cord. Also, it is responsible for the supporting structure of the body. So dear students, now you have come to know about the vertebral column. So on the basis of presence of this vertebral column, we call all the organisms present in this subphyla as vertebrates. Now we shall discuss in detail about this vertebrates. As this is a subphyla of Chordata, it has all the three features which we have discussed under Chordata. So, it should have notochord, it should have nerve cord, and it should have gill slits at least in the embryonic stage. Not necessary that it should be present in the adult life, it should at least have all these features at least in the embryonic stage. So, as this is the subphyla of the phylum Chordata, it invariably has all these features in the embryonic stage. But later on, this notochord disappears, and then it contains a vertebral column or tubular structure, and that is the reason all the organisms present in this subphyla are called vertebrates. Now, we shall see the various classes of this phylum Vertebrata. So, there are 5 classes. Class Pisces or fishes, class Amphibia or amphibians, class Reptilia or reptiles, class Aves or birds, class Mammalia or mammals. So, dear students, there are 5 classes under this subphyla Vertebrata. They are fishes, amphibians, reptiles, birds and mammals. Now, let us discuss in detail about all these classes. For better understanding and for better remembrance, let us compare all these classes and learn all the features of these classes. So, dear students, we are now comparing all the classes at a time and learning for better understanding and for better remembrance. Dear students, this is a table depicting all the features of 5 classes of the phylum Vertebrata. Here, let us study the features of all these classes under these headings. Let us know the body structure, let us know the locomotory organ, let us know the respiratory organ, the circulatory system, nervous system and the reproduction in all these classes. So, first let us see the body structure of all the 5 classes. Here, as you can see in the picture, in Pisces, it has got streamlined body shape which is divisible into head, trunk and short tail. Body has an exoskeleton composed of dermal scales. The body structure of amphibians. As you can see in the picture, amphibians have streamlined body which is divisible into head, trunk and tail. But tail may be absent in adult. Body structure of reptiles. As you can see in the picture, the body of reptiles is divisible into head, trunk and tail. The exoskeleton is in the form of epidermal scales. Body structure of Aves. It has a streamlined body shape which is divisible into head, trunk and tail. The exoskeleton is in the form of feathers. They aid for protection of the body. The body structure of mammals. The body is divisible into head, trunk and tail. Trunk is further divisible into thorax and abdomen by diaphragm. Exoskeleton is composed of hairs and nails. So, dear students, you have learned that the body structure of all these 5 classes is divisible into head, trunk and tail part, and you have seen various body features of all these 5 classes. Now let us see the locomotory organ. What is the meaning of locomotion? Locomotion is the movement. So the organs which aids in or which helps in locomotion or the movement of an animal from one place to the other are called locomotory organs. In case of Pisces or fish, it is fins which helps for locomotion. And in case of amphibians, they have limbs. So limbs, there are two pairs of limbs, forelimb and hind limb. Two in the front are called forelimb and two in behind are called hind limbs. And these four limbs ends with 4 digits. See your fingers, you have 5 digitations or 5 fingers. But in case of this amphibians, the forelimb ends with 4 digitations and the hind limbs ends with 5 digitations. And here, in case of reptiles, they have limbs again, and these limbs are forelimb, one pair of forelimb and one pair of hind limb. And this forelimb ends with 5 digits. Here they ends with 4 digitation, the forelimb ends with 4 digitation, but in case of reptiles, the forelimb ends with 5 digitations. And the hind limb, they contain 5 digitation, and it is similar here also. In case of aves or birds, they have also got forelimbs and hind limbs. But here, the forelimbs, a pair of forelimbs are modified into wings which helps for the flight. And they have got a pair of hind limbs which ends with 5 digitations again. Also, in case of mammals, the locomotory organs are limbs again. Again here they have got 4 limbs, a pair of 4 limbs and a pair of hind limbs. Both the forelimb and the hind limb ends with 5 digitations. Look at your own leg and hands, they end with 5 fingers or 5 toes. So these are the locomotory organs of all the 5 classes. In case of Pisces, it is the fins. In amphibians, limbs. In reptiles, it is limbs. And in aves, it is limbs. And in case of mammals, again it is limbs. But the difference is that in all these cases, they have a pair of forelimb and a pair of hind limb. But in case of the amphibians, forelimb ends with 4 digitations, rest all they are ending with 5 digitations. And there is a little difference in case of aves where the forelimbs are modified into the fins. Except all, it is the same in all the 4 classes. And in case of Pisces or fish, they have fins for locomotion. Now, let us see about the respiratory organs, the organs which aids in respiration, which aids in the exchange of respiratory gases. Which are the respiratory gases? Yes, it is oxygen and carbon dioxide. We take in the oxygen and we give out the carbon dioxide. So, in case of mammals, as you all know, we are mammals, and in case of mammal, it is the lungs which helps for the respiration. And let us see what in case of Pisces, it is the gills. In case of fishes or Pisces, it is the gills. Gills are nothing but a tuft of capillaries or the group of capillaries which aids in exchange of respiratory gases. As you all know, fishes live in water. So, they mainly depend on the dissolved oxygen which is present in the water. So, they have got gills which are nothing but tuft of capillaries containing of course the blood. So, whenever water comes in contact with these gills, there will be exchange of the gases. The concentrated carbon dioxide in the blood will go into water, and the oxygen which is dissolved in the water will be taken into the blood of these capillaries which are present in the gills. So this is about the respiratory organs of Pisces. Here they have got gills which are nothing but tuft of capillaries or group of capillaries where there will be exchange of respiratory gases. And in case of amphibians, in larval stage, it is of course the gills. In case of larva, the gills act as the respiratory organs. But as and when this amphibian matures, when there is metamorphosis from larval stage to adult form, the lungs act as the respiratory organ. And in case of reptiles, again they have got lungs. In case of aves, they have lungs, and of course in case of mammals, we have got lungs. So respiratory organs in Pisces are gills, and rest all it is lungs, except for amphibians, where in case of larva, it is the gills which act as the respiratory organ. And a point to be noted here, in case of amphibians, as you know, they live both in water and on land. So when this amphibian live on land, they use these lungs for respiration. But what in case if that amphibian is present in water, how does it respire? It respires through moist skin. So whenever this amphibian is present in water, it respires through the moist skin. So their skin act as the respiratory organ. Otherwise, lungs are the respiratory organ for amphibians, reptiles, aves and mammals. But in case of Pisces, it is gills. So this is about the respiratory organ. Now let us see about the circulatory system. In case of Pisces, it is two-chambered heart. They have got two-chambered heart. One is auricle and one is ventricle. Dear students, as you can see in the picture, Pisces have two-chambered heart, one auricle and one ventricle. Now you have seen the heart of Pisces. Now let us see the heart of amphibian. This heart of amphibian is three-chambered. It has got three chambers, where two chambers are auricle and one chamber is ventricle. But in case of crocodile is an exception in this amphibian, where it has got four-chambered heart. Well, not exactly four-chambered, because here this ventricle in case of the crocodile is incompletely divided into two chambers. Though we cannot regard it as accurately four-chambered heart, but we can say up to a certain extent that it has four-chambered heart. And in case of reptiles, it is again three-chambered with two auricle and one ventricle. And in case of aves and mammals, we have got four chambers where two are auricles and two are ventricles. So dear students, talking about the circulatory system, in case of Pisces, it is two-chambered heart. In case of amphibians, three-chambered. In case of reptiles, it is again three-chambered. And in case of aves and mammals, it is four-chambered. So in Pisces 2, amphibian and reptile 3, and aves and mammals 4. So this is about the circulatory system. A point to be noted here.
ಬೇಸ್ ದಶದೀವಿಗೆ
ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ತಾವುಗಳು SSLC ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ತಯಾರಿಯನ್ನು ನಡೆಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಹಾಗೆ SSLC ನಂತರ ಮುಂದೇನು ಅನ್ನುವಂತಹ ಪ್ರಶ್ನಾರ್ಥಕ ಚಿಹ್ನೆಯೂ ಇದೆ, ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆ ತಮ್ಮ ಎದುರುಗಡೆ.
ಮಂಡ್ಯದ ಸಾವಿರಾರು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಮಂಡ್ಯವನ್ನು ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದೂರದ ಊರುಗಳಿಗೆ ತಮ್ಮ PUC ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ CET ವಿದ್ಯಾಭ್ಯಾಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಮಂಡ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿರೋ ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಕೂಡ ಮಂಗಳೂರು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು, ಮೈಸೂರು ಹೀಗೆ ಹುಡುಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗೋದು.
ಈ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಿರುವ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳ ಪರ್ಫಾರ್ಮೆನ್ಸು, ಅಚೀವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಕೂಲಂಕುಷವಾಗಿ ಗಮನಿಸಿದರೆ
ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲೇ ಅಲ್ಲಿಯ ವಾತಾವರಣ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಆಗದೆ ವಾಪಸ್ ಬಂದಂತಹ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ.
ಬಹುತೇಕ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಬರಿಗೈಯಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಪಸ್ಸಾಗಿರೋದೇ ಹೆಚ್ಚು.
ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆಲ್ಲ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ, ದ್ವಿತೀಯ PUC ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗೆ ಸಿದ್ಧವಾಗೋದೇ ಬೇರೆ, CETಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರಹದ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಳ್ಳೋದು.
ಮಂಡ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ 100ರೊಳಗೆ ರ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದಾರೆ CETಲಿ?
CETಗೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರತಕ್ಕಂತಹ ವಿಶೇಷವಾದ ಸಿದ್ಧತೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಡೆಯೂ ಲಭಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಸಾಧ್ಯತೆಗಳು ಕಡಿಮೆ.
ಇದನ್ನು ಮನಗಂಡಂತಹ ನಮ್ಮ ದಶದೀವಿಗೆ ತಂಡ
PES ವಿಜ್ಞಾನ ಕಾಲೇಜಿನ ಸಹಯೋಗದೊಂದಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೊಸ ಆವಿಷ್ಕಾರವನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ನಾವು PUC ತರಗತಿಯ ಜೊತೆಗೆ CET ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ. 2015-16ನೇ ಸಾಲಿನಿಂದ ಫಸ್ಟ್ PUC ತರಗತಿಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ನಾವು CET ಜಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಎಂಟ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ ಕೋಚಿಂಗನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ.
IITಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ದೂರದರ್ಶನದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಠ ಮಾಡಿದಂತಹ ಸುಮಾರು 12 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೂ ಮಿಗಿಲಾದ ಅನುಭವವುಳ್ಳಂತಹ ಅಧ್ಯಾಪಕರು ಈ ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ನ ತಗೊಳ್ತಾರೆ.
ಹೊರ ಊರಿನ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಹಾಸ್ಟೆಲ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇರುವಂಥ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಪಾಠ ಪ್ರವಚನಗಳ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ಪರ್ಸನಲ್ ಕೇರ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ.
ತಾವುಗಳು ಇದರ ಉಪಯೋಗವನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಹಾಗೆ ತಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಹಾಗೆ ಚಿಪ್ಸ್ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ CETಗೆ ಪಾಠಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಅಂಕಗಳನ್ನು ಪಡೆದು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಹೈಯರ್ ಕೋರ್ಸಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಷನಲಿಸ್ಟ್ಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅಂತಹ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆ CET ಕೋಚಿಂಗನ್ನು ತಮಗೆ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ, ತಮ್ಮ ಊರುಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ಪಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅನ್ನೋದು ನಮ್ಮ ಉದ್ದೇಶ.
Call these all organisms, or the organisms present in Pisces, the organism present in amphibian, reptile, all these organisms we call them as cold-blooded organisms. What is the meaning of this? Cold-blooded organisms are those organisms which does not maintain the constant body temperature. So they don't maintain constant body temperature. If you see yourself, you maintain constant body temperature of about 37 degrees Celsius. Let it be a summer season, let it be a winter season. Let the degree Celsius of the atmosphere or the temperature of the atmosphere fall as low as 0 degrees Celsius, or let it increase as high as 40 degrees Celsius, but your body temperature will not vary, because for certain reactions in the cell of a body to take place, it requires adequate or optimum temperature to be there always. So the reactions, the biochemical reaction that takes place constantly in your body requires optimum temperature of 37 degrees Celsius. If there is any variation in this temperature, then they fail to react, or some of the process will obviously stop. For this, in case of aves and mammals, they have constant body temperature, the body temperature of which does not change according to the environmental temperature. So we call them as warm-blooded organisms. But in case of all these three classes, Pisces, amphibian and reptiles, here the organisms changes their body temperature according to the environment. If the temperature in the environment is 10 degrees Celsius, again the temperature of the body get converted to 10 degrees Celsius itself. So it changes. The temperature changes according to the body temperature. So they are called as cold-blooded organisms. It might be surprising you as to why all these classes of organisms have got only 2 or 3 chambered heart, and why we have got such a sophisticated heart. It is because as we, both the mammals and the aves, require more oxygen to produce energy, and this energy is utilized, most of this energy is utilized just to maintain constant body temperature. As we need to maintain constant body temperature, we need adequate supply of oxygen. See here, when there is need of adequate amount of oxygen, that means that there should be separation between the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood. So for this, we have got 4-chambered heart where the oxygenated and the deoxygenated blood are separated. There is no intermixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood, so that we get adequate amount of oxygen to produce energy, and this energy, the most of this energy is utilized to maintain constant body temperature. So this is why we, the mammals and the aves, have got 4-chambered heart. just to separate oxygenated blood from the deoxygenated blood. This completes the feature of circulatory system. Now let us see the nervous system. The nervous system includes brain, spinal cord, and the nerves which emerge from the brain are called cranial nerves. The nerves which emerge from the brain are called cranial nerves, and the nerves which emerge from the spinal cord are called spinal nerves. Let us see the features of all these classes here. The nervous system in case of Pisces, here they have got brain, they have got spinal cord, and they have got 10 cranial nerves. In the sense, there are 10 nerves which emerge from the brain, 10 pairs of nerves in fact. Okay, they have got brain, spinal cord, and 10 pairs of cranial nerves. But here the brain is not much developed. Again, in case of amphibians, it is the same. They have got a brain, they have got a spinal cord, and they have got 10 pairs of cranial nerves again. And you know that cranial nerves are nothing but the nerves which emerge from the brain. Here they have got, the reptiles have got a brain and a spinal cord and 12 pairs of cranial nerves. It is same here. Even in case of apes, they have got a brain, spinal cord, and 12 pairs of cranial nerves. And even in case of mammals, we have got brain, spinal cord, and 12 pairs of the cranial nerves. But what is the difference? As we go from this end till that end, the development of the brain becomes more. So here the brain is less developed compared to the mammals where it is well developed. So this, apart from this, there is no much difference. This completes about the nervous system. Now let us see about the reproduction in all these classes. Here Pisces, they lay eggs. So how do they reproduce? They lay eggs and they are called oviparous. Egg laying organisms are called oviparous. And amphibians, they also lay eggs and they are called again oviparous. Again here reptiles are oviparous and birds are, of course you know it, they lay egg, so they are called oviparous organisms. But in case of mammals, we give direct birth to the young ones. We don't hatch eggs here. So here in case of mammals, mammals give direct birth to the young ones. So they are called viviparous. So all the other classes are oviparous except the mammals. And coming to fertilization, what is fertilization? It is the fusion of the male gamete and the female gamete to form a zygote, which later develops into an adult form. Here the fertilization is external. That means that the egg which is laid is not fertilized inside the body. The fertilization is taking outside the body. That means that the fertilization is not taking inside the body, it is taking outside the body. The organism or the fish will lay the egg outside, and that is not a fertilized egg, so it lays an unfertilized egg which later get fertilized by the sperms or the male gametes outside the body. So the fertilization takes place outside the body. And coming to the amphibians, even here the fertilization takes place outside the body. Here the unfertilized eggs are laid, and later in the atmosphere the sperms or the male gametes will fertilize this egg to form the zygote. Again here in case of reptiles, the fertilization is inside. That means that the egg which it lays is not an unfertilized egg, it is a fertilized egg. So in case of reptiles, the male and female gametes fuse to form an embryo in the form of an egg, and that is laid. So I have told that they are oviparous, that means they lay egg, but that egg is not an unfertilized egg, it is the fertilized egg which it lays. So the fertilization is internal. The fusion of the male gamete and the female gametes takes place within the body. After the fusion, after this fertilization, they lay the fertilized egg. That is why they are called oviparous. And in case of aves, again here the fertilization takes place within the body and they lay the fertilized egg. So as they lay the egg, they are called oviparous. And in case of mammals, it is of course the fertilization is inside the body. Here the male gamete and the female gamete fuse together in the female body, and then this male and female gamete when fused, they form the zygote, and this zygote will develop into a fetus, and this fetus after full term pregnancy it is delivered out, and there is direct birth of the young ones here. They don't lay eggs. So this is the meaning of viviparous. They give birth directly to the young ones. After an internal fertilization, the fertilization takes place inside the body. Now let us see what about the development. Once there is fusion of male and female gametes, it forms a zygote. And what happens next? Where does this zygote develop into an adult form? Is it inside the body or outside the body? Here, in case of Pisces, it is external because already the fertilization is external. The fertilization takes place outside the body. So the development should also take place outside the body. And here again, as the fertilization is external in case of amphibians, even the development has to take place outside the body. But in case of reptiles, it is internal fertilization. The egg and the sperm will fertilize or will fuse within the body, and after fertilization they will lay the fertilized egg, and this fertilized egg will develop outside the body. It will not develop inside the body. So here that the development of this zygote into adult form is outside the body. Again coming to this aves, here the fertilization is inside the body, and after fertilization they lay the fertilized egg, and this egg will develop into an adult form outside the body. But in case of mammals, the development also is within the body. This zygote develops into an adult form within the body. So the development in case of mammals is inside the body. Let us recap it again. The development in case of Pisces, it is external. In case of amphibians, it is external. In case of reptiles, it is external. And in case of aves, it is again external. But in case of mammals, it is internal. So development in all the classes, all the organisms of all these classes is external development except for the mammals. And with regard to this fertilization, the fertilization is external in case of Pisces and amphibians, but it is internal in cases of reptiles, aves and mammals. So these are all the features of all the 5 classes of the phylum vertebrate. Dear students, with this topic we conclude the lesson Chodates. Hope you have understood the topic clearly and read well for your exams. All the best for your upcoming exams. This is Bindusar Hosamani signing off. Thank you. ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು.